We saw some history last night. Christopher Sanchez's scoreless inning streak ended at 50 2/3. That's the fifth longest streak since 1893 and the longest ever by a lefty. Sanchez only gave up one run to win his seventh game. And then we have fellow Cy Young candidate Shohei Ohtani. He threw 6 scoreless innings to lower his ERA 2.74 through his first 10 starts. That's the third best since earned runs even became official in 1913. Well, baseball insider Jeff Passan joins us now. And Jeff, I just went through some of those numbers for Ohtani. It's another day, another milestone. But what jumps out to you about the way he's pitched this season?
This is just the manifestation of what everybody thought Shohei Ohtani was going to be when he came here almost a decade ago. Let's remember, the two-way player thing, it was something of a novelty, and really a lot of teams looked at him and just wanted him to pitch. And he has wanted to win a Cy Young Award his entire career. Now, he's behind Christopher Sanchez right now because Sanchez has thrown 25 plus more innings than him. He's behind Jacob Mizorowski now, but what Ohtani's been able to do in limiting batters and limiting damage this season has been incredible. As dominant as Mizorowski has been against hitters, Ohtani actually has a better OPS against, and with the command of the fastball, with his ability to throw the sweeper at any point, the splitter, and then even dropping in a 68-mile-an-hour curve last night just for giggles, he is a fully complete version of himself right now. And for everyone else, Kiana, that's a scary thought.
It's terrifying, especially when you look at just what he has done and what he continues to do. But the baseball trade deadline, that's 2 months away. Don't have to worry about Shohei going anywhere, but there could be some big names on the move. Jeff, the biggest name to watch is Tigers ace Tarik Skubal. What can you tell us about what the market would be like for him?
Well, this should not come as a surprise, but everyone would love to have Tarik Skubal in their rotation. And that includes, of course, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And as terrifying as they are right now, the even scarier part is the Dodgers probably have the best farm system to deal from, with a cornucopia of outfielders and pitchers that they could try to tempt the Detroit Tigers. The real question at this point is, who is going to definitively be in at the level that will be necessary? Does Atlanta want to go and pair him with Chris Sale? Could Milwaukee, potentially, a team that normally doesn't acquire big-ticket items, go and get him at the deadline? Could the Tampa Bay Rays be in the mix? Potentially the Cleveland Guardians? When you have a pitcher of Skubal's caliber and you have the ability to go out and win the World Series, and he's one of the few guys in baseball who can carry you to that, sometimes you make moves that are out of character, and that's what this August is going to be, Kiana. A bunch of teams asking themselves, are we going to not be ourselves?
Out of character, and then you'd bring me right to LA like you talked about at the top of this question. It's like the rich have an opportunity to get even richer, but you can read Jeff's full article on all 30 teams and what might happen at the trade deadline on ESPN.com. Jeff, thank you so much.
Ohtani, I mean, last night, another incredible performance. He ends up going 3 for 4, reach base 5 times, 6 scoreless innings. He lowered that ERA to 0.74. Fabian, just seeing Shohei on the mound, see him in the batter's box. What was your biggest takeaway from last night?
Where's the power? I'm just kidding. No. He's playing great right now. He really is. And this is crazy to talk about. A month ago, we were talking about how much it really seemed like he was hitting the wall physically. And it's one of those things that we talked about at the time. He's going to push past it, and then all of a sudden you catch a second win. And he looks like a guy who's catching a second win. Obviously, he's going to have a day off today on Thursday. But on the mound, he's been lights out all year long. The stuff has been really good. Even when the command hasn't been as sharp the last couple of starts, the stuff is just so good that you're just not going to hit him. And then offensively, he seems like he's tapped into something offensively. He's swinging the bat as well as he has all season. Even earlier in the year when he was kind of doing the on-base streak, he was doing it kind of in spite of his mechanics, maybe not feeling as good. Now you're sort of seeing him well-rounded. And honestly, he didn't have the quick hit for average last year the same way he does right now. He did it in 24, and he looks a little bit more like he did maybe at the end of 24, where, yes, he was slugging. Obviously, you don't get to 50-50 without slugging, but it was the singles, it's the doubles, it's the triples, it's being able to get your bat to whatever pitches that are hittable in a given game, and also knowing when to take your walks. And I think yesterday was a perfect example of that. That is as good of a game as he's played this season. And you saw it, just all all the different ways that he can sort of beat you.
Yeah, look like more of a leadoff hitter with those singles to get those walks. But Jerry, I mean, what do you make of Shohei's night?
I agree with Fabian. I think that was one of his better nights doing both. Obviously, he had an incredible game in the NLCS when he pitched 6 scoreless, 10 strikeouts, and those 3 bombs. But for him to be consistent now at the plate, and we said it earlier, was it fatigue? Was it, does he need to get his second wind? Was he hitting a wall early in the season? That could have been a factor. But I know what was the factor was his mechanics at the plate. Anytime you're flying open, that caused you to drop your barrel, you have no chance at the plate. And that's what happened to Shohei Ohtani. Thankfully, he was able to fix it and correct it. Now he's staying square. When you're staying square as a hitter, you're able to cover the fastball, really cover every pitch. You see him going the other way with authority, hitting those line drives, and you see him not chasing as much. And when he doesn't chase, he's going to draw his walks. And for him to do what he did on the mound, I know that his last outing, 6 innings, no hits. He was extremely frustrated with himself. Those free passes, he wasn't in command. I think he was effectively wild that night, and he knows that. He knows that. Listen, I got to be better if I'm going to be able to make sure I continue on this run as a pitcher. Boy, did he correct some things on the mound last night. Complete command, dropping that slow breaking ball at times to go along with that riding fastball. When he has all his pitches working, I say it all the time, he's a nightmare to deal with as a hitter because you don't know what pitch you're going to get, at what velocity you're going to get at any point in the count. So it's just too much for a hitter to cover. And it was just so fun to watch him do both successfully last night at the plate and on the mound.
And just his job on the mound, too. I mean, only threw 3 splitters, leading on that 4-seam fastball, that sweeper. And Dave Roberts said after the game that he's got that mindset where he was going out there actively trying to throw shutouts, that his never taking his foot off the gas. And you saw late in that game, he had an opportunity to go out there for another inning. There's the big Cy Young picture, having him qualify. Fabian, I mean, it's still Dave Roberts sticking to his guns, even though he's putting together another virtuoso masterclass of a performance.
Yeah, it's the long game, and it always kind of is with the Dodgers, especially understanding that you're trying to keep this guy doing this at this level, not just on June 3rd, but in September, October, when the games really matter. So, yeah, I think the big picture is always going to matter the most. I think they're not going to be – they're like we've kind of stressed on this show, like they're not going to skip a start for him, but like I do think that the paramount thing is like, all right, if you're going to do this, like you still have to be able to like shave off an inning here and there, and I think Ohtani kind of knows that going in. And I think that's part of why he was frustrated last start with his command, because he said like he even said to himself like if his command was better, and even if he had given up a couple of hits, at least he would have been able to go 7, would have been able to go 8. So all these sort of things, like he understands that he has to kind of keep the pitch count low to be able to go deeper into games. He understands the degree of difficulty to have the season that he wants, especially if the Dodgers are kind of going to have the long game with this all season long.
Yeah, and since May 12th, hitting .438, leading Major League Baseball in offensive WAR, 254 weighted runs created plus 4 home runs. We know June is the month that he really starts to just explode. Jerry, what are you seeing from him at the plate, though, compared to what we saw for the first couple months of the season?
Well, I kind of touched on a little earlier. We talk about him when he is on, but really when every hitter, especially elite hitter, is on, they're staying square. They're trusting your hands. They're not jumpy at the plate. What we saw earlier in the season, he was kind of flailing at pitches. His front shoulder was flying out. His front hip was flying out because of it as well. And just didn't see a confident guy at the plate. Now that he's staying square, he knows that he can trust his eyes. He can trust his hands. And if something's away, he knows he can go the other way with authority. Anytime a hitter like a Shohei Ohtani is hitting line drives to left field and at times hitting it over the wall to left field, very similar to Freddie Freeman, he knows he can cover everything. And we saw last night that fastball in, tomahawking that pitch to right field on a line. And for him to be able to cover every pitch, he knows psychologically, man, they can't get me out right now. So I can stay back. And if the ball's not there, he's being the perfect leadoff hitter, drawing his walks, getting on base. So it's fun to see an elite hitter like a Shohei Ohtani be on at the plate, because really there's not so much a pitcher can do. He's going to try to bait him, see if he can chase. And if he doesn't, guess what? He's going to draw his walks and get on base. So it's fun to see. We said it about a month ago, 6 weeks ago. Guys, it's a long season. Allow the season to play out. He's going to find it. He's going to figure it out. He's just too good of a hitter. And a hitter like him, really, whether it's Tony Gwynn, whether it's, Aaron Judge over there in New York, you're not going to be on all the time. Otherwise, you're going to hit 600. I don't think I've ever seen a guy hit 600 before. You're going to have some ebbs and flows. You're going to have some down periods. But guys like them figure it out and can get hot for a long stretch. And we're seeing that with Shohei right now.
And it looked like he was dealing with a little bit of a maybe a blister situation. You saw that shot of his middle finger kind of bleeding there a little bit. Fabian, anything with that? I mean, you think that kind of impacted the mix? I mean, it's Arizona. There's always a little bit of adjustment there when pitchers are throwing in that ballpark. But notice anything there?
You're right. I think Arizona, the ball just moves differently. That's why guys are hesitant to throw their splitters early on in spring training because they just know that it's not going to move the same. I'm sure it's one of those things that they're going to keep monitoring. They didn't say anything about it post game, so it's one of those things where pitchers are usually kind of dealing with blisters. Oftentimes, it's just about management between starts, and it's obviously more difficult to manage a blister between starts if you're also using those hands and those fingers to swing the bat. But I doesn't seem like something that there is super pressing at the moment.